You goofed saying Biafra is dead. The indigenous people of Biafra replies Òbasanjø, the former president of Nigeria. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to this wonderful channel where we'll bring you the topmost of the top news. If this is your first time of joining us on this channel, please help and hit the subscription button, the like button, the share button, and also on your notification button so that whenever our news drop, you will be the first to take it. Let's go into the news proper. The indigenous people of Biafra, Ipob, yesterday replied to former President Olusegun Obasanjo over his alleged comment that Biafra is dead and buried, saying he goofed and Biafra is still alive. The indigenous people of Biafra, in a statement by its media and publicity secretary Emma Powerful, entitled Chief Òbasanjø knows that Biafra is much alive and will be restored soon, alleged that Chief Òbasanjø, as a special guest at Professor Charles Chukwumasoludo's one-year celebration in office at Awka, erroneously claimed that Biafra is dead and buried, saying that the former president of Nigeria goofed on the statement. Ipob's statement read, the global family and movement of the indigenous people of Biafra, under the command and leadership of our great leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, wish to remind the former president of Nigeria, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, that Biafra is not dead and was never buried, but much alive, and eventually the sun shall rise again to never set again. Chief Òbasanjø, as a special guest at Professor Charles Chukwumasoludo's one-year celebration in office and event in Awka, Anambra State, erroneously said he believed that Biafra died and was buried on the 13th January of 1970 while making a speech at that occasion. How can Chief Òbasanjø believe that an entire nation will die and be buried? Did he forget the warning of then surrendering officer General Philip Effiong when he warned Nigeria to treat descendants of Biafra well, or they will rise up to continue the demand for a separate country? Can Chief Òbasanjø be sincere to himself that his government and subsequent ones treated Biafrans as equal in this country? We want to ask Chief Òbasanjø, has there been any ethnic group in Nigeria that has been subjugated, maltreated, deprived, discriminated, profiled, hated, militarized, and their youths murdered by the Nigerian state like Biafrans? Thank God that he, Òbasanjø, publicly acknowledged that there is an Igbophobia in Nigeria. The hatred against Igbo in Nigeria is visible even to the blind. We would not have responded to Chief Òbasanjø's comment, but we want him to bear in mind that Biafra is coming, and very soon. We wish that God Almighty will keep him, Gowon, and other Biafra genocides alive to witness and celebrate Biafrans whose mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, and ancestors they butchered in cold blood because of ethnic profiling and hatred from 1967 to 1970. The hatred we are witnessing today from other Nigerians, if the country does not conduct the Biafra referendum in peace, will soon cause it to implode into a more devastating way. This time, every part of Nigeria will feel the heat. It shall no longer be the Biafra civil war, but every part of Nigeria will receive its own share of a bloodbath. We want Chief Òbasanjø and other interested groups to know that our demand for Biafra exit from Nigeria is not born out of hate for anyone, but because we want to survive as a race. We have tried our best to belong and contribute to building Nigeria, which was founded on fraud and sustained with injustice and shared hatred against Biafrans, all to no avail. Our quest for Biafra referendum and independence is a quest for survival. Chief Òbasanjø, who wondered why there is Igbophobia in Nigeria, was the same president who oversaw an evil policy, close all seaports in Biafra territory in his show of hatred. He ensured that Lagos became the only operational seaport in Nigeria, thereby putting Biafran territory at an economic disadvantage over his Yoruba territory. Igbo, should Obasanjo be able to stand in Ali Igbo and speak such words to us, has Chief Obasanjo called the Nigerian government to obey their court order and release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, whom the court have discharged and acquitted. We, therefore, urge him not to patronize us with his hypocrisy. Biafra is our legal and human right, and we must get it. We want Chief Obasanjo to know that Biafra is not dead and definitely not buried. No amount of propaganda and blackmail against the IPOB movement will make us change our resolve to restore Biafra. We either restore Biafra or we die restoring Biafra. That is why we say Biafra, Biafra or no Biafra. Nothing more, nothing less. My people, I don't hear Aside Shele, the indigenous people of Biafra, through its spokesperson Emma Powerful has spoken. He commented to Obasanjo's comment during Soludo's 1-year anniversary in office. On that program, Obasanjo said that Biafra died and was buried in 13th of May 1970. And Emma Powerful has, raising his voice to that particular comment, saying that Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, the former president of Nigeria, was goofed for making such a statement, that such a statement is not supposed to be had from a man of his caliber. Of course, you know that Òbasanjọ́ was the one that said that there is Igbophobia in Nigeria, and I'm yet to understand why the Igbos are receiving so much hatred even in their own father's land, even in their country that is also called their own, because the Igbos are believed also to be Nigerians, and Nigeria is made up of 3 ethnic groups. We have the Yorubas, we have the Hausas, and we have the Igbos. Then inside them, there are other sub-ethnic groups that are inside them, but the main ethnic groups that are known in Nigeria are the Igbo, Hausa, and the Yoruba. Some people also use the word Hausa Fulanese, but what we know is Hausa, Igbo, and Yoruba. Now, Obasanjo has said that Biafra died, but how can a man in the caliber of Obasanjo make such a statement? Because if you say that Biafra has died, it means that all the people who has been, pursuing this vision has also died, because many who passed through that particular 1967 to 1970 tough time, most of them are still alive. Even Obasanjo was there, and Gowon was there. The present president of Nigeria was also there, and some other people who fought in that battle, they were all there. So I think I'm saying that Biafra has died and was buried. I think that's the wrong statement, because the country still lives in the mind of the people, the Biafrans who fought this war, their children, their generation. It is in their blood. The country still lives in their mind, and that is why people like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Simon Ekpa are, doing all their necessary best in order to be able to make sure that a country called Biafra comes to pass. And look at what Emma Powerful is saying. Emma Powerful is saying that it's not because Biafrans are not leaving Nigeria because of envy or because of hatred, but because they want to find a realization, to find their own race, to realize their own selves, to be their own selves. There is this peace in being your own self, or being in your own house. For example, if you are living with someone, or if you are in somebody's house, you might not be able to have that full freedom of moving about, go to the port, take food, go to the bathroom, move about the way you want. But if you are in your own house, there is this. So Obasanjo, in his wisdom, should not have made such a statement, because it's an indicting one to say that Biafra died and was buried in 1970. I think that's the wrongest statement that Obasanjo, and I don't know that a man in his caliber could even make such a statement, because it's a kind of, insulting the Biafrans and the people who fought this war, because there was a country and there will still be a country. Thank you for listening. If this is your first time of joining us on this channel, just hit the subscription button, the like button, the share button, and also remember to on your notification button so that whenever our news drop, you'll be the first to grab it. Thank you for listening. God bless you.